Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Cody here, and today's video is going to be a review of the PowerA Fusion Controller. It is a $79 controller made by PowerA, of course, and it is a really solid product. Of course, as you can tell, it's a wired controller. It is a no-slow controller, which those of you who don't know, for the Microsoft controller, sometimes it would not register going around. That would be a quote-unquote slow controller. This does not have that. It will register a full 360, and you will not have a problem. It is very sensitive, the analogs are. So if you play at a, let's say, 5 to 6 sensitivity, which I do on Halo, you would have to go down to maybe a 3, maybe a 2. I play at 2 now after using this controller. The one good thing about this controller is the feel. Having it in my hands, playing with it for 2-3 hours, it feels so much better than the Microsoft controller, honestly. And that being said, it being not a huge name, again, this is the first time, not the first time, but it is, I really didn't know much about PowerA until Hoaxer, Elumnite, Bittersweet, until they were sponsored by them, and then they come out with this controller. And after that, it got me wondering about them. And then one day, watching Elumnite stream, and we were in his chat, they were talking about the controller, and then I was talking to Elumnite and Hoaxer about it, and they both recommended this controller. Not because they were sponsored by him, but they feel like it is a really solid controller. And I could not agree more. This controller is by far one of the best controllers I've ever used. And I've used a wired Microsoft controller, I've used Mad Catz controller, I've used all kinds of controllers. But this one takes the cake, honestly. With the triggers, I want to point out the triggers do have kind of like a trigger stop to it. So as soon as it hits that contact, you don't need to do any more. Just unlike the Microsoft controllers, where you have to legitimately go further down. This one, it has that max, a shorter length to contact, so you can fire your shots more frequently. You can throw your nades more. It's better. It's honestly like the Scuff's trigger stop, but it's built in. Excuse me. The buttons on it, they're easier to deal with. They're easier to mess with than the Microsoft controllers. Sometimes you would get the Microsoft controllers that stick, and this doesn't have that. You can legitimately lightly press on the side, and it's going to hit the contact. The buttons on there are really nice. They're a little bit bigger in diameter than the Microsoft ones, so you can, again, hit it wherever, and it's going to hit the contact inside. And it's not really poking out there. Like I said, with the triggers, they're closer to the contact, so you can just hurry up and press it, and then you're about your way. Also, too, I want to point out the colors. It really doesn't have a purpose besides customization. There's red, green, which I use because it's my favorite color, blue, like a purple pink thing, and then a light blue. This is really cool if you play in the dark, or just if you're at a tournament or at a LAN and someone walks by you and they see that and they're like, oh, what kind of controller is that? Because it's light up. But again, I use green. The D-pad, I really haven't used all too much, except for calling in an Ordnance in Halo 4. I don't know how well it works for fighting games. I was reading a couple of reviews, and it's saying it doesn't really work that well. I'm not 100%. I don't use it. I don't play fighting games often, so I'm not for sure. One thing I do want to point out is if you're like me, if you're used to a Microsoft controller, the back button and the start button are higher up on this controller. Me, I'm always hitting these bare spots, and I'm kind of get frustrating after a while. But after, like I said, with the no slow, after a while, you'll get used to it. I'm still missing the back button ever so often, but it's something to get used to. But again, it's not that big of a problem. Honestly, it's not a problem at all. It's just getting used to the controller. The grips on them are very solid. You get two different grips. The stock grip is kind of a matted, hard grip. This one that I have on here right now is the gel type. It's more of cushion. This one I prefer just because of when I grip my controller when I play, I get a little too into it. So the harder grip on it kind of would hurt my palms. This one feels really nice on my hands. It has a nice little grip to it. If your hands get sweaty, it doesn't. The controller won't slip out of your hands. Another thing about this controller is the wire. It is braided. This is perfect for if you have animals, if you have a rolling chair for your setup, if you have kids. This braided wire is perfect. They really did build this controller to make it last, and I feel like it will last. The one thing also I want to point out is the analog thumbstick is concaved. Yeah, it's concaved, and it's bigger. The diameter-wise is bigger. I'll bring up my Microsoft controller. Hopefully you get to see it. Just by looking at them together, try to angle this in properly. If you look at it, this looks, actually this one looks a little bit bigger, but the analogs themselves on the PowerA is really bigger than this one, and I like it because you have more room to slide, and my fingers slide often with this one, and it doesn't have the little nipples also on the Microsoft one, like the Microsoft one. A lot of people were having problems with this that I read online, and I don't see what the problem is. I feel like it fits my thumbs a little better because I don't have my full thumb is on the analog, so it fits my thumb better. Besides that, I really don't know what else to talk about. All the buttons are nice. The customizations on it is nice. The cord's nice. The triggers and everything is nice. Also, another thing I want to point out is it does come with a traveling case. And this is basically for you to put your controller in. And if you go to tournaments, which I am starting to do this year, this is perfect for you. I have my Astros on, so you need everything. You need your gear to be protected. I'll show you the inside of it. And this is to make sure your controller is protected. And this means that they really care about their product. And to me, that is a big, big deal. If a company cares about their product, then that means they care about the people that they're supplying it to. And I like that. I haven't dealt with their customer service. I don't know how it is because I haven't had a problem yet. But I've heard that their customer service is really, really good. And that's also another good point. But PowerA is a good company. After I got this controller, their PlayStation 3 controller came in. I'll show you that one. came into my job, I had to pick it up just because I love the Fusion controller. So I swooped this up out of my job. Again, it's built like the Xbox controller, which I like. And even though I don't play PlayStation that much, but I had to swoop it up just because PowerA's Fusion controller is amazing. So I had to pick up their other product. I do recommend it. Go out and get it. It's $79. I recommend it. Hoaxer recommended it to me. Elumnite recommended it to me, and I feel like they did it for a reason because it's a good controller. They really care about their product, like I said before. So check out their website. If you need to know anything else, hit up either Elumnite, Hoaxer, me, or check out their website and figure out what you want to do for a new controller. And I feel like this controller would be the best bet if you care about competitive gaming. I'm going to put their website into the About section or into the description. Also, I'm also going to put Hoaxer and Elumnite's Twitter in there because they are sponsored by PowerA. So I hope you like this video. Please like, subscribe, check out my other videos, and look forward to making another video.